University Farms. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I make my sesame seed buns. These are quick and easy. It does not take hours to make like lots of other buns and breads, but it has the homemade taste. It has a lot of flavor and everybody loves it. So if you like videos like this and want to see more of it, let me know, like and subscribe, and let's get started. First, I start with 3 cups of flour. I use my KitchenAid mixer with my bread hook. You can always do this with your hands and just knead it. So I put my 3 cups of flour in. I use 1/8 of a cup of sugar. It helps activate the yeast quicker. Then I buy almost all my dry goods in bulk. Then I put 2 tablespoons of yeast. That's when I put my mixer down and just get a quick little stir, get all the ingredients incorporated before we start adding more things into it. Okay. I use 1 tablespoon of Himalayan pink sea salt. The only time I don't use Himalayan pink sea salt is sometimes in my canning. Then I use canning salt. I absolutely love pink Himalayan sea salt. There's a lot of health benefits to it. It's not stripped from a lot of the minerals that table salt is. I give this a quick little stir again. You can use whatever eggs you want. Sometimes I use duck eggs when I have a surplus, but I have ducks sitting on eggs right now, or chicken eggs. So what I always do to make sure you don't end up by chance getting eggs in your batter is I'll use one of my other bowls, crack it, eggs in your batter is I'll use one of my other bowls, crack it. Or vegetable oil today, since I have the extra vegetable oil, that's what I'm going to use. I use 1/4 cup. Add that in. And then at this point, that's when I put 1 cup of hot water, not boiling, but hot. And you let that incorporate in. And then with the flour that's sitting on the edge, I use one of my silicone spatulas to get it off the side. You can turn it up a little bit. You'll start seeing it incorporate. Then I turn it up. I always have my flour on standby because a lot of times it needs it. It depends on where you live, your humidity, and all that, depending on how much flour you need. So I just have it here, and I just add a little bit as we go. That looks about right. So I let it go in the mixer about 2 minutes to incorporate, really beat it, so I don't have to knead it as much myself. Okay, so I let it beat on my bread hook for 2 minutes. Now I'm taking it off. It's going to be a little sticky, and that is okay. Take this, add a little flour. Sometimes I use my big wooden cutting board, or right here, depends on what I'm making. When I'm making buns and stuff, I need a little bit bigger surface, so I just flour my countertop. Make sure you get all your dough from the bottom of your pan. Don't need this anymore. I'm gonna add just a little bit of flour on the top and bottom. And now you can move your mixer out of the way. You are done with that for now. So I form a little ball. I get a little bit more flour. I put it around, knead it, just so it's not sticking to my hands, just enough not to stick to my hands. Okay. I form a little ball like this. I'll add just a little more flour onto the top so it doesn't stick to my towel. Normally I'll use a tea towel or a kitchen towel of some sort. It was in the laundry this morning, so I will be doing it with one of my towels. When you cover it, you want to make sure it just covers it all the way. Then I let this sit for 10 minutes, and then it will be ready to separate into your buns. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes, and I'm removing the towel, and it has doubled in size, which is what you want. So from this point, I'm going to just cut it in half. Take the sticky side, get some flour on it, take 1/2, then I cut that in half, that in half, that in half, take the other half, cut it in half, cut it in half, and cut in half. So I make these as 8 for a batch. That you'll get a really good standard hamburger bun. You can make this into 12 and have sliders. So what I do is when I pick it up, I kind of round it out, then I pinch it down to the bottom, kind of get a good bun shape. Move these real quick. And I have my pan, and I just put them in. If you want to make it go a little faster, you don't have to do the second rise. Sometimes, a lot of times I don't do the second rise unless I'm trying to match up my bake time with if it's on the barbecue or whatever I'm cooking. But they still cook just fine. There's nothing like the taste of fresh buns, and especially if you're making them and they're quick, you can do whatever size that you want, especially once you make them and you know how big they'll get. You can make big ones for adults. You can make smaller ones for the kids. Oops. We're gonna redo that one. I didn't get it over the side well. So then, let me get some of this flour out of the way. You have your buns. I already whipped up an egg, and I have my little baster brush. And then you just coat the tops. I do this to get a really nice color. If you do not add something to the top, you won't get a good color. It's going to be a pale. It will cook, but it won't have that color that you're used to for buns. It's actually a personal preference, and I just like the way it looks and the way it cooks, and it helps me see when they are done. people use a lot of different things to brush the tops. So use your personal preference. My personal preference is eggs. We always have them between the chickens and the ducks, so that is what I use. So they are all coated. And now I'm going to add some sesame seeds to the top. I will add that while you're making this, if you want to add any type of herbs or anything into it, you most definitely can. You can experiment with it. Sometimes I do a toasted onion garlic that everybody seems to like. But when I'm just rushing and trying to get some buns in the oven, this is my go-to right here. It's quick, it's easy, everybody seems to like it, and we aren't buying buns from the store when we don't know what exactly is in it. So if we're raising our food on the farm and eating that, we want to also know what's in our buns. So now that these are done, I will already have my oven preset to 425. Then I put them in from anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. When they get a nice brown top and you can smell them, you'll be able to tell what they look like when they are done. So I'm gonna put these in the oven for 12 minutes and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, so I made 2 batches and this is what they both look like. I'm gonna let these cool and then put them away. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make hamburger buns. I hope you choose to try. Let me know if you do and how you like them. If you want more videos like this, subscribe and ring that bell to get notifications for any new videos. And thank you. Have a great day.